Okay, what is up everybody? And today we're back again with episode 2 of the new beginner series. And I'm actually recording this straight after episode 1, so if you mentioned anything that you want me to go over in episode 1, I will see it after this episode goes live. But for now, today, like I mentioned, we're going to be going over a few other things, but mainly we are going to try and hunt some animals because we have no cash. We have only 1,000. We only have 3,500 cash, and I actually wanted to see if we could get ourselves the 270 ammo, which we found out last time we could get. And yes, we can get the 270 soft point bullets. So why don't we get 20 of those? Because we're probably going to start to upgrade to the polymer tip bullets pretty soon, or the 240 polymer tip bullets. But what this only means is we can get animals all the way to class 8 right now. So with our two new weapons, we can go from classes 2 all the way to up to 8, depending on what weapon we use. And of course, I just noticed I forgot to actually equip those. So the way we do that is we go into our storage, go here to our 270 ammo, and just drag and drop that in our inventory. And now when we're here, we actually want to equip the 270, add the bullets to the gun, add extra the scope on the gun, and if you buy the scope once, you can use it for all the weapons. Just want to make that clear, you don't have to buy multiple ones for every single gun. And then lastly, I just want to add my tents because we probably are going to be placing some of those tents around here. But what we're going to be starting off right now, it's 10:14 a.m. right now, and I think we're going to go on a little bit of a moose hunt because they actually start drinking now, and we kind of want to make our way over to this house over here. But I'm debating if we want to go to that house or if we want to continue to look around and explore the map. But I think we are actually just going to start going down here and explore the other parts of the map in a future episode. But hopefully we can find some animals down here, because we really need that cash, like I said, and we really want that weapon score to get up to that next level and just buy the weapons that are better. Something else that I do want to say, for the DLC guns that I actually own, we will only be using those once I actually get a gun that has the same rating. So we're basically only going to be using that once we have the 7mm unlocked, just because I want to keep this as basic or as friendly for anybody who has this game without DLC, and not just be able to shoot every weapon, like every animal, really quickly at the beginning because I have this in this DLC. Now you'll find points of interest like this around the map, and this is basically a mini tripod stand which allows you to go up and it be elevated from the ground, and it actually creates less hunting pressure. If you remember, hunting pressure is created when you kill an animal, and if you actually get tier 4 hunting pressure, so this is tier 1 hunting pressure or tier 4 hunting pressure, all the zones inside that purple circle are actually going to get deleted. So you want to try and avoid that. But what basically these little tripods do is they will actually only create a quarter of tier 1 hunting pressure. So you could essentially kill 15 animals, and then with the 16th animal that you kill in that spot, that is when the zone gets deleted. So that is really effective if they're at the right space. I usually don't build them up, I usually just get the ones that you can get with the DLC, but obviously if you play the games bare bones, I would highly recommend building those up. Now you sometimes do get these warning calls like we did over here, and I heard that it actually was a moose and not a scrub hare, not a scrub, but not a jackrabbit, but they are around here as well, so we're probably going to find both of these. Now something else that is going to be important for hunting is these icons in the bottom right here. So the circular thing that you can see right now is actually showing which direction the wind is blowing, so it's currently going in the direction that I'm looking at. So if you were to walk in that direction, an animal has no way of smelling us. It could only theoretically hear us, or see us, and that is a decent level 3 moose. But let me continue explaining. Then in the bottom 3 areas, the one all the way on the left is your heart rate, which basically affects how long you can hold your breath. So on PC you can do that with shift, and on console I think it's on R3, but just check in settings, just go under settings and then keyboard and mouse or gamepad up here, whichever one you have, and you'll be able to see what keys are designated to what action as well, if you didn't know that. Then the one in the middle is your visibility. So if I'm standing up like this, an animal will most likely see you from 100 to 150 meters. You can go in stuff like trees and you'll be hidden, like completely hidden. If there's nothing there, if it's a blank box, no animal will be able to see you unless it's like right over here, then it will see you. But if it's like standing out there, it won't be able to see you. It can only smell you or hear you, and hearing is actually the one right next to that. So if it's white, so if we just walk around, it's still pretty loud because we don't have all the skills and perks yet that make us quiet. But generally speaking, walking around or crouch walking is when an animal most likely will not be able to hear you. Now, you can obviously affect this with later skill perks. Sprinting around the map basically means that an animal is just gonna hear you at a range of around 100, 150, sometimes even 200 meters, depending on the animal's awareness levels. But you'll learn that with experience and time to which animals you can run up closer and which animals you should be a little bit more cautious about. Now, something else I want to say about your visibility: if you crouch down, your visibility will go down to around 50 meters, and if you lay down like this, an animal will only see you when you're like 20 to 15 meters away from them. Sorry for all of you guys who are using yards and stuff like that. I currently prefer meters instead of the other, like the American system, just because it makes more sense for me. But just Google it up, just search what 50 meters is, 25 meters, or whatever I'm using. But we have another female moose out there, and she's standing really nice and broadside, so I feel like we should be able to get a nice lung hit on her. Let's actually check her distance though, because yeah, that is gonna be a really tough shot without having the zeroing distance. But I think we're gonna try and get a little bit closer before we take that shot, because it's just, the bullet is gonna drop a lot. And since we don't have the zeroing distance unlocked yet, because we don't have the perks for that yet, it's gonna be pretty hard to estimate that, especially with the scope, because the scope is really not the best. But I don't want to lose our perfect broadside angle either, so I think 260 is going to be, we might be able to push, yeah, we're gonna be able to push 240, but we're gonna get out the 270 here, and then I think we're just gonna try and go for that. But no idea if we hit that or not. You can kind of judge it with if hunting pressure comes here pretty quickly or not. If we missed it, it's probably not going to die, just because this is the 270 and it's not the strongest weapon. But I don't want to lose the track right now, because if we select another track up here, we're going to lose the outline of that track, and I want to keep it just when we actually go over there and it's has died, then we can track it a lot easier and we don't have to search if there's another track around. But it has not died yet, so I don't think we hit a good shot. But there's another moose right over there, and it seemingly is a lot closer, so we actually won't have to account for a lot of bullet drop, and that should be a good double lung hit. And not a double lung, this is going to be a single lung hit, just because this is the 270 and it doesn't have the most penetration. So let me look. Okay, we can only reload by walking slowly because we don't have the skills and perks yet once again. But let's walk over there, and I think this guy or this girl should have died, because yeah, we were pretty close to that. But moose are very tough animals, so they do take a lot of time to go down. Even if you have like the advanced, like higher level weapons, they're not gonna instantly drop. They are still gonna take their time and run quite a bit before they end up dying. So let me track her down, see if the other one back there is gonna go down as well, and collect them for the cash and weapon score. While we're tracking this, so I did see that she go down, but here, this is another zone type. This is for drinking zones. So last episode we covered feed zones and resting zones. This is a drink zone. They are usually close to water because the animals are going to be drinking, and we hit a vital organ hit on her, so we're just going to have to track her down now and see where she is, because she will have gone down even with a low bleed rate. So let's go track it down. And there's a rabbit. We're not going to be able to get that, but let me track this moose down and then pick her up. Well, before we pick the other one up, we've got some more moose over here, and we've actually got a male back there, which I would really like to get. And if we have a frontal angle, I wouldn't mind passing up the hard shot, but I think that will just be a single lung hit because we were too far to the right. But still have not picked up the other moose that we shot earlier, but just wanted to get that guy down as well so he can die while we go pick up this other moose. And well, here's our female cow moose down. So let's look what type of shot we got on her. So we got a single lung. We were a little bit far back, and I don't know if we would have caught the liver, but we passed all 4 of our harvest checks. As you guys can see, we are going to get 706 cash, 74 XP, and only 28.67 rifle score. I think that should be higher, but either way, let's claim it. And I did shoot a male, as I'll probably show you, but we got a bad hit on him. So once again, he is not going to go down, but let's look what shot we got on him, because I was aiming for the heart, but yeah, we only got non-vital organ hit, so that will be a flesh wound, sadly. But let's run around this lake a little bit more, because moose are still going to be drinking for another 2 hours, and in an hour white-tailed deer are going to start drinking. So maybe we could find another moose, and there is another cow right over there. Let's look what the distance is on that. So let's mark her 170. So I think if we go to this water's edge, we might actually be at around 150, and then we should be able to get ourselves a pretty good shot. And yeah, we're gonna get to around 155. That should be fine. And oh, she's actually gonna come a little bit closer even. She's giving us this kind of quartering frontal angle. With a more powerful weapon, I would be going for the neck shot, but since the scope is not that high level, let's just kind of aim for the middle of the chest and hope that we get at least a lung. I was aiming for heart, but that should have done it because she is down, so we might have clipped the heart somehow. But because the 270 isn't as strong, she might not have died directly. Not too sure, because that was actually too quick for a single lung hit. So I'm curious what we hit there. Before we're going over there to claim that moose, we actually just saw another one. And this is why I was saying make sure you always run around looking where animals are. And she's at 200 out. I know a moose will only start spooking once you're at like 150, so let's just start crouching now just in case. But definitely want to get her down as well, just because she'll give us an additional XP boost and cash boost, and we would really need that. So let's pull out this 270 roundabout here, aim a little bit high, and that should do it. But I'm really curious what we hit on this other one. I know I said it before, but she went down super fast, so that must have been a good hit. And here we can see with the blood right over here that it is actually a vital organ hit. Here's our moose. She didn't run far at all, and yeah, we got a clean heart shot. Usually they will drop, but probably because this is the 270, we are only going to be getting she's gonna run a little bit. It wasn't like, this is not the strongest weapon. This is like level 8 is like the highest class you can shoot with the 270, and that you're just gonna be able to see that when you're shooting something like a moose, which are generally tough animals. So I wouldn't usually recommend starting with moose. It's just that it currently fit with the timing, but it's gonna be a lot better once we get to the whitetail deer. And with that, we got 44 weapon score. So I think that should bring us to, yeah, we're at 100 already. So we should be able to get the 243 polymer tip bullets and use those for a bit of a better penetration and just taking some better shots on the lower tier animals, which is going to really help us out in the long run. Well, this other cow ran quite a bit, but it's only around 150 meters, so not too bad. And oops, tried auto walking, going too far. We got a solid single lung hit, which will give us exactly 34 weapon score and around 250 260 cash. So they're not the best for cash for their difficulty, but like I said, I didn't want to change time. I want to save money right now. I don't want to change the time constantly, because that price will go up the more times you change the time. And we are going to go walking down this distance right here, and then we're probably going to buy ourselves the polymer tip bullets, just because we would really benefit from using those. And hopefully we can find maybe 1 or 2 more moose somewhere along the river's edge here. And here we are at the other outpost, our ultimate goal for this episode. But let's go ahead, claim it, and you'll see the same animation we had for the last outpost, just that things are in a little bit different orientation. And we finally have about 140 rifle score, which still means we cannot buy any of these weapons. But what we can do is we can go to rifle ammo, and we can finally buy ourselves polymer tip bullets. They are going to cost us $530 for a pack of 10 of them, but they are a lot better. So let's just get ourselves 50 of those and make sure that we put those in our inventory, and when we go out, change it out in our actual 243 weapon. And that they are going to come properly reloaded, so you won't have to reload. But what our goal is going to be for next episode is actually to try and get ourselves the better sight, which is not going to be this one, but let me look where it is. It's the Hyperion scope. So we're going to try and get to 901 rifle score, which ultimately just means that we're going to have to try and hunt a lot of animals to go ahead and get there. But with that being said, I think we did just a little bit of progress getting a few moose down here, showing you guys where you should aim for those, what you should try and avoid. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this so far. I hope you are learning a little bit better. I hope I edited it better than last time and explaining things a little bit more clearly and more easy to understand for somebody who's new to the game and is just trying to figure out how the game mechanics works. If I'm still being a little bit too hectic, please let me know below, because that's the only way that I'll know if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm doing something good, let me know as well. And with that being said, please press the like button, because that will help this video out, get to more people, and it really does help out my channel more than you think. So lastly, if you're new around here and are curious how this series is going to go on and want to learn more about the game or just see cool hunts, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're always notified when I upload new videos. But with that being said, have a good day, bye bye, and peace.